Imagine standing in a boardroom, the team is waiting, and you know the decision you're about to make will disappoint some, cost money, or shake the status quo, but you also know it's the right decision. Warren Buffett once said, in the business world, the rearview mirror is always clearer than the windshield. As leaders, we don't get the luxury of hindsight when it matters most. Today we're talking about something every true leader must face, making hard decisions, specifically 3 areas where most professionals struggle: making unpopular decisions, acting with incomplete information, and learning to trust and delegate. These are the moments that define your executive presence, not how you lead when things are easy, but how you decide when everything's on the line. Leadership is not about vision, it's about the courage to act decisively and ethically, even when it's uncomfortable. The higher you rise, the harder the decisions get, and the more your choices impact people. Let's break down 3 tough types of decisions every leader must master. 1. Making unpopular decisions. The Friday mid-afternoon conversation. I've had to fire more people than most people would ever want to. A couple of hundred, maybe. I don't want to pretend it's fun. It's not. But over time, I've heard the same thing again and again. You're actually really good at this. Strange compliment, right? But I get it. Because when someone has to go, I make sure they understand why. That's what makes the difference. There was one employee, let's call him Jake. He had potential, showed up to training, took notes, asked questions. We even did sales coaching together. At his first milestone review, he was on track. By the second, he had fallen behind, so we gave a warning, clear, documented, not emotional. He knew the deal. The rules were printed and posted on the wall. 3 warnings, you're out. Or in some cases, X means instant dismissal. We told him, if you're not hitting this number of sales or generating this many leads by this date, we'll have to end the role. When that day came and the numbers weren't there, I sat him down calmly. Jake, I said, you're smart, likable, well-spoken, but asking for the sale, you haven't done that. We've invested in you, salary, training, and time, and you've brought in a quarter of that investment back in revenue. We've been generous, but the role requires more, so we won't be continuing. I told him, you will be great in customer service. I'm happy to give you a reference, but for today, we'll pay you to the end of the day. Please call accounts if you have any questions about your pay, and I ask that you head on home now. It's hard, but it's harder if they're surprised. That's why the system matters. You set the standard up front. You remind them often. You track progress publicly. Everyone knows the rules, not because of gossip, but because the rules are always visible. Long-term employees, that takes even more care. You need 6 to 8 weeks of solid documented evidence, multiple mentors, clear feedback, follow-up, proof that they were given every opportunity to turn it around and didn't. But once you've done that and done it right, the entire team breathes easier. Your HR team, your managers, payroll, IT, everyone knows the process is fair. People sometimes say you're really good at this, but I don't think it's because I enjoy it. I don't. It's because I do it with clarity, respect, and consistency. And in leadership, that's what makes the hardest decisions just a little easier for everyone. 2. Making decisions with incomplete information. No one wants to give away the secret sauce. Leaders almost never have all the facts, and the truth is sometimes people don't want to give them to you. I remember once I was asked to meet with this guy from the army. We were supposed to discuss a collaborative project, one that needed input from both sides. I had a non-disclosure agreement ready to go, tucked inside my handbag, just in case. I was fully expecting to have to guard every word, make a big fuss about privacy before we could talk about anything. I was prepared to have a real conversation, but the guy from the army, it turns out he wasn't even in charge of what we thought he was. The whole conversation was pointless, but I had prepared like it wasn't. And that's what you learn in leadership. You prepare anyway, you act anyway, you make the best call you can based on limited insight, with people who may or may not tell you everything. When I'm hiring a senior manager, I don't always know how it's going to turn out. No one does. That's why I protect the business on paper. Contracts need to be structured. So if anyone's not a fit, you can thank them politely and walk them out the door without the company taking a hit. Or say you're dealing with software handovers and the invoice isn't due for 30 days. Guess what? You don't hand over the software. Not until people have been paid, especially if it's risky or unpredictable or a new client, or if the client is in the adult industry. You always get the money first, period, because they can go belly up so quickly. And when you're operating on a half a story, ask around. You'll be amazed what you can learn from people around the edges. One time, I needed to know if a local business owner was still operating, but the shutters were always down. So I asked the cafe next door, "Hey, have you seen him around?" Boom, context. Another time, 2 staff members were locked in a blame game. Each accused the other of sabotage. I didn't get involved directly, but I spoke to people who sat near them at lunch. I didn't breach any trust. I just asked how the vibe had been lately. That gave me more clarity than any formal complaint ever could. You'll never have the full picture, but that's not an excuse to freeze. The world moves fast. Markets don't wait for you to figure it all out. So you gather what you can, protect your downside, lean on experience and decide. Because if you wait for certainty, you'll always be too late. 3. The power of trust and delegation. I once worked with someone who taught me more about leadership than any textbook or leadership development course ever could. She started small, just a team leader, a modest department, but she had this rare quality. She trusted her people. I wasn't going to say her name, but maybe she'll enjoy the fame. Her name is Michelle Greco. She went on to become the general manager at Census, and not so long ago, the Australian Grand Prix Corporation, AGPC, announced her as their new general manager of sales and commercial. I wouldn't be surprised if she's already moved on to something bigger. What made her stand out? Simple. She trusted her people. She didn't micromanage. She didn't hover. She gave her team ownership. She let them take risks, make mistakes, and learn. Because of that, she didn't just lead a team, she built leaders. That's the kind of mindset that elevates someone from managing tasks to driving transformation. It's something a lot of leaders forget. If your team believes they can do it, let them. And if they can't, well, they'll show you soon enough. But when you micromanage, you're not just slowing them down, you're holding yourself back too. Think of some of the biggest names in business. Steve Jobs surrounded himself with geniuses and trusted them to build the iPhones, the Mac, the entire Apple ecosystem. He didn't do every task. He let the vision and let others bring it to life. Sir Richard Branson is famous for saying, hire smart people and get out of their way. That philosophy is at the heart of the Virgin Group's culture of innovation. Indra Nooyi, during her time at PepsiCo, empowered her teams to launch bold ideas and enter new markets. She didn't try to do it all. She focused on vision and trusted others with execution. On the flip side, I've seen leaders who just can't let go. They burn out trying to do everything themselves, and their teams, they shrink, they wait for permission, they play it safe because they're afraid of doing it wrong. That's not leadership, that's bottleneck. Leadership isn't about control, it's about trust, it's about building people, not just managing tasks. So ask yourself, do you trust your people enough to let them lead in their area of strength? Or are you holding on so tight that no one else can breathe? The best leaders know when to step back, and that's how they create teams that thrive. That's how you build a business that lasts. Here are some practical action steps. 1. Document expectations. Write the rules on the wall. 2. Use milestones and metrics to assess performance objectively. 3. Talk to people. Cross-reference feedback from your network. 4. Coach, then decide. Provide support before making hard calls. 5. Let go, delegate and observe, not hover. Here's some free advice. Fire on Fridays, not Mondays. Build decision templates. If this, then that. Always carry a non-disclosure agreement, an NDA. Seriously, it could avoid disasters. If you work in a secret source company, track progress, not just potential. You were not hired to make friends. You were chosen to lead, and leadership is service with strength. Every tough call you make builds the muscles of your legacy. When you hesitate, remember this: you were trusted with responsibility because you can handle it. Stand tall, speak clearly, act boldly. People will follow certainty, not perfection. Making hard choices, working with imperfect data, and letting go of control are the crucibles of leadership. Master them, and you go on to master your future. So the next time you feel that gut twist before a big decision, don't flinch, lean in, ask the right questions, act decisively, trust your team. You've got this. Because at the end of the day, leadership isn't about having all the answers. It's about having the courage to ask the right ones, make the tough calls, and lead with integrity. Go lead like you mean it. You've got this.